This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. President Trump says the sexual assault allegations against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh are a terrible thing, but he still supports him. North Carolina is facing historic flood levels after Florence left hundreds stranded. Michael Che and Colin Jost host this year's 70th Emmys. The show suffered a huge drop in the ratings despite a surprise marriage proposal.
Hello and welcome to Matador News. I'm Jide Akinpelu.
And I'm Kathleen Pandeli.
CSUN has officially released its annual crime report, and in most categories, crime is down. Here's Matador News reporter Justin Vigil with more on the story.
Last year, the campus saw major drops in burglary, robbery, and domestic violence reports. CSUN police have also had a huge decrease in liquor and drug law incidents and arrests. Students overall feel safe on campus.
Yeah, I've always felt safe on campus. I've never felt threatened. I've never felt like I have to really look over my shoulder.
I do feel safe on campus. I think it's a really good initiative. I'm studying cybersecurity, so I know the impact is huge right now.
The school does a lot to kind of ensure student safety and make sure that we feel safe, which is in a lot of ways almost more important than the actual security measures that they take.
While there have been incredible drops in most crimes, there have been significant increases in weapon law arrests, arson, and motor vehicle theft. Car theft has seen a substantial rise with reports nearly doubling over the last few years. Now let's go back to Kathleen with more news in the studio.
Hundreds of flood victims in North Carolina are lining up today for free food, water, and supplies. Workers in Wilmington are handing out the items quickly, like a food chain drive-through. Residents are able to pull up in their cars, place an order, and leave without having to get out of their vehicles. Hurricane Florence's fury took a big hit on Wilmington. The city is blocked off from the rest of the state, except by one road that is open as a supply route. First the wind, then the rain, then flooding, now tornadoes. That's the latest devastation brought on by Hurricane Florence. At least 6 different counties were affected by the tornadoes yesterday. Officials say they will reopen other roads when the flooding recedes and when power lines and trees are cleared. Hurricane Florence has killed more than 30 people.
President Trump says the FBI should not investigate the Brett Kavanaugh sexual assault allegation.
With all of that being said, it's a process, and we all feel, speaking for all of the Republicans, we feel that we want to go through this process and we want to give everybody a chance to say what they have to say.
Democrats are calling on the FBI to reopen the background investigation of Kavanaugh before any hearings. Brett Kavanaugh was nominated by Trump to become the next Supreme Court judge, but his path to the position was clouded by California college professor Christine Blasey Ford, who says he sexually assaulted her when they were both in high school. The Senate plans to hold hearings on Monday. Trump said Kavanaugh is anxious to testify. Ford reportedly has not yet agreed to testify. He also complained about the way Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein handled the allegations.
The United Nations General Assembly is starting their 73rd session in New York today. It is one of the world's largest meetings among prime ministers and presidents. They will give speeches and introduce resolutions that may impact the world. President Trump will show up to the UN headquarters later next week, but is unlikely Trump will win approval for any major Security Council resolution since Russia and China have veto power.
South Korean President Moon Jae-in meets with North Korean President Kim Jong-un in North Korea today for their third summit. President Moon says he hopes to reopen negotiations with the United States. He hopes to expand and improve relations between the Koreas. Former U.S. Representative for the North Korean policy, Joseph Yoon, says denuclearization is top priority.
What Washington expects now is a significant move by North Korea on denuclearization. How much can Kim Jong-un give? And also remember, President Trump is completely wedded to the deal he made in Singapore. The problem with that deal is that there was not much definition.
Moon is under intense pressure from the U.S. to advance the denuclearization process while pushing his own pursuits for irreversible and permanent peace between the Koreas.
President Donald Trump and the First Lady will be meeting with the Polish president and his wife for a press conference. The conference began at 11 this morning. Trump said during the meeting he is considering having U.S. troops in Poland permanently. The White House says the two will also discuss trade, the military, and security.
The Trump administration slashes the number of refugees admitted to the United States. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says the U.S. plans to cap refugees at 30,000 in 2019. That's a 33% drop from 2018's record low ceiling of 45,000.
The United States anticipates processing up to 310,000 refugees and asylum seekers in fiscal year 2019. We propose resettling up to 30,000 refugees under the new refugee ceiling, as well as processing more than 280,000 asylum seekers.
Officials told CNN that the president's desire is to focus on border security, and the issue was discussed at a secret principals committee meeting on Friday.
The Tahunga brush fire has now been contained. The fire broke out early this morning, burning almost 2 acres in the area. It threatened 3 homes nearby. Firefighters doused the flames from the air and on the ground. There were no injuries and no structures were destroyed.
3 homeless men are in critical condition after being beaten with baseball bats in downtown LA Sunday morning. Police say the suspect attacked 3 men while they were asleep, beating them repeatedly and stealing their belongings. One of the men was found on the 700 block of Wilshire Boulevard. The other 2 were found near 5th Street between Flower and Figueroa. All 3 men remain unconscious since the attack. Police are still searching for the suspect, who they believe might have been a homeless man himself. He is described to be in his 30s or 40s, with dark hair, wearing a blue hat, gray sweatshirt, black shorts, and white tennis shoes. If anyone has any information on the suspect, they should call the LAPD.
The LA City Council will vote today on whether or not to ban the manufacturing and sales of fur products. If the council goes forward with the ban, Los Angeles will be the largest city in the country to ban fur.
And now here's Natalie Garcia with the latest in health.
Coca-Cola is looking closely into adding cannabis to its products. Cannabinoid, or CBD, does not produce the same high as marijuana, but is used for pain and anti-inflammation. Coke says it's watching the growth of psychoactive CBD as an ingredient in wellness drinks around the world, but hasn't made a final decision yet. If Coca-Cola goes forward, it would be the first non-alcoholic beverage company to enter the cannabis trend. And now we have Joy Edomwonyi with the latest in entertainment.
The 70th Primetime Emmy Awards ratings suggest it hit a new all-time low, and critics say this show was a bit dull, except for one surprise moment. Director Glenn Wise took home the award for Outstanding Directing for a variety special, and also gained a fiancé.
This ring that my mom wore on your finger in front of all these people and in front of my mom and your parents watching from above. Will you marry me?
Wise proposed to his longtime girlfriend Jan Svensson during the Emmy Award acceptance speech. Also up for the Best Speech Ever nomination is Betty White. Betty was honored for her 80 years she dedicated to Hollywood. HBO and Netflix were the big winners, with Game of Thrones and The Crown taking home big awards. The Captain Marvel trailer has been released and promotes a female-led cast. Brie Larson stars as Carson in an origin story about a pilot who sustains injuries during a crash and is transformed into a superhero.
I know a renegade soldier when I see one. Never occurred to me that one might come from above. Space invasion, big car chase. Truth be told, I was ready to hang it up till I met you today.
Captain Marvel's appearance in the Disney hero universe was hinted at after her logo made a brief cameo at the end of Avengers Infinity War. The film is expected to release next March 9th. And now we have Matador News reporter Christina Rodriguez to Studio B with the latest on Big Show.
Associated CSUN students are hosting the 18th annual Big Show this year. We have recording artist A$AP Ferg and DJ Mustard. Here is Brandon to tell us more about the about the event. Can you tell us where students can find the tickets and what they can expect from the event?
Most definitely. So CSUN students can get their tickets at the ticket office, at the Mercado, the bookstore as well, and all the Freudian tips around campus. Tickets are now $22 for students, and you can expect a lot of fun things at Kavanaugh Big Show. There's gonna be a lot of good food trucks, a lot of great artists you can go see, and a lot of like special things we're adding into, like we're gonna tell you later in the upcoming weeks before Big Show.
Okay, thank you so much, Brandon. And now back to Natalie for sports.
Dodgers take the win against the Rockies in the first game of the National League West battle. The Dodgers now move into first place in NL West. Jock Peterson was the hero, making 2 home runs and driving in 3 runs from the leadoff spot.
Peterson cranks one in the air to right. Did he get enough? His second home run tonight.
Following Monday's series opener, the Rockies are now in second place. The Dodgers face the Rockies again tonight with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. Japanese MMA superstar Norifumi Kid Yamamoto has died at age 41. Yamamoto posted on his Instagram in August that he was battling cancer. He had been hospitalized and was receiving treatment in Guam when he passed away. Yamamoto competed as a lightweight and featherweight and ended his career with an 18-6 record. Back to Joy with the latest in business.
President Trump is ramping up his trade war with China. Things take a turn less than 24 hours after Trump announced new tariffs on China goods. China hit back, increasing tariffs by 5%, affecting $60 billion worth of U.S. goods. China officials says they had no choice but to protect their rights and interests. Both China and U.S. tariffs are scheduled to take effect September 24th. Google plans to place Androids inside millions of cars by partnering with the Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi Alliance. The Android operating system will be used to power media displays on vehicles. The displays will incorporate better integration of Google Maps, App Store, and voice-activated assistants from car dashboards. They will begin to appear in 2021. And now we have Matador News reporter Samantha Rodriguez in Newsroom B with the latest on the Facebook lawsuit.
The ACLU is filing a complaint against Facebook and 10 other employers for unlawfully discriminating based on gender in job ads. Job ads on Facebook were targeted specifically to male users for male-dominated fields. Dr. Marta Lopez Garza from the Gender and Women's Studies Department at CSUN says this lawsuit can have a great effect on women looking for jobs.
If women are not receiving ads because Facebook has decided to, discriminate or eliminate them from even seeing these ads in Facebook, which is such a popular form of social media and advertisement, then women will not have access to that, will not know about those unless it's from another source.
She says consumers have the right to take a stand against these companies.
I think consumers have a lot of power. And I think if consumers decide that they're not being treated equally, or someone they know is not being treated equally, either because of gender or because of race or class or sexuality, I think that's a very powerful form of letting a company know. If you decide to, particularly if it's a collective, organized way, to stop using that source.
Employers are excluding all women and non-binary users from receiving these ads. The complaint says this violates federal and state discrimination laws. Now let's go back to today in the newsroom.
Matador News reporter Ethan Hansen is in Northridge with a live weather update.
Thanks, Jide. Temperatures are expected to reach as high as 89 degrees here in Northridge, and then it'll drop down to 91 on Wednesday and Thursday, drop down to 87 on Friday, and then back up to 91 degrees on Saturday and Sunday. And now for all you stargazers out there, Mars and Venus are expected to look fantastic tonight. If you look off to the north, you can see Mars, which is going to be a reddish color, and then Venus, which will look very, very bright and red. And now for all you servers out there, the swell is expected to be very, very smooth, with the waves expected to go up to 2 to 3 feet, but still remember to wear a life jacket. Also, the air quality is going to be moderate Wednesday and Thursday, and then will go up to being good for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, according to the AccuWeather forecast. This has been Ethan Hansen. Back to you, Kathleen.
Texas Sprout employees have lost a total of 200 pounds and counting using the keto diet. This diet cuts out carbohydrates and adds more fat and protein. The 5 employees cheered each other on through the whole process and found new keto-friendly products in the very store they work in. The employees say they've benefited from the diet and have gained more energy than they've ever had. One employee recommends for anyone wanting to try the keto diet to see a doctor beforehand and make sure it is safe for them. Thanks for watching Matador News. I'm Kathleen Pandeli.
I'm Jide Akinpelu.
I'm Natalie Garcia.
And I'm Edomwonyi.